I'm going to read this notice. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded. The following information is provided for members of the public that would like to participate in the meeting remotely. To participate remotely from a computer, please follow the link to join the meeting, or from a phone. And I don't have the meeting ID on here. Do you have the digital? Thank you. For some reason, it cut it off. The meeting ID is 886-7389-1085. Thank you. This meeting and hearing will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting and hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. And we're going to move on to roll call. My name is Josie Gilchrist.
Karen Menard.
Carol Ashambo.
Debbie Lincoln.
Kim Duffy.
Gerald Reed.
And then, go ahead.
Lou Franco participating remotely.
Tim Wilsmer participating remotely.
And we have Rami from Over Under.
Rami Asmahi participating remotely.
Okay. So we're going to move on to the update from Over Under. It's been a while since we met, and I apologize to everybody for neglecting to submit the agenda on time and having to move the meeting, but I appreciate everybody's flexibility with that and for being here today. So we're going to hear from Rami with some updates that he and his team has.
Cool. As I think all of you know, we had a successful meeting back in November. It's a combination of our fall public drive, if you will. We were at the homecoming events over the weekend, the parade, as well as the Boys and Girls Club event, which was great fun. We then met at the Roastery. Yes, you will believe we're there. A very decent turnout. I thought the quality of the discussion was excellent. We sort of have taken that information and sort of used it to live in our existing conditions report, which I will send a draft to you all. I'll send you a link after this meeting. We also have been, a lot of that effort was to get the second survey responses up. As of a few minutes ago, we have 205 responses, which I think is very respectable. The one place that I'm a little concerned is the number of homeowners versus renters. The renters population is about 4% of the respondents. If you think that overall 12% of the town are renters, it doesn't feel like it's sort of, I would like to get those numbers a little closer, so I'd really look to you all for some advice as to how to target that particular audience. But other than that, I think it's a nice spread age-wise, and the income levels, education levels, everything are reflective of the town in general. And the responses are varied, so that there's quite a lot of difference on certain things, and a lot of consensus on a few things as well. The areas where there's consensus thus far is on sort of preserving and doing more to support the agricultural character of both businesses, and just the general character of the agricultural nature of Bloomberg. And the other one is sort of kind of high consensus Oh yes, preserving and repurposing existing municipal buildings. So those are two areas where the sort of 4s and 5s agree and strongly agree are by far the majority. I can go through these in greater detail if you'd like, but since it's still open, I'd like to keep it going. I think we plan to sort of close it in January, just before the next public meeting, which is the other thing I would like to talk to you all about. We're proposing Thursday, February the 2nd for our next public meeting. And it happens to be a day you would meet anyway, so that might two birds with one stone. And I think it's in terms of the rhythm of where we are in the process, that would be a good time to sort of meet again and try to coalesce around the visions and goals. So that's really we've had ongoing bi-weekly meetings with Matt and Josie, and during the holiday season that's been a little more complicated because it's that time of year, but we've been in touch with the two of them since we met in November. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
For the February 2nd meeting that you would like to have, how similar will it be to the other meeting? And what would you like to see differently, or what structure do you anticipate changing?
So it'll be trying to sort of coalesce around some of the what we call the visions and goals, and in a way the survey is doing a lot of that work for us. Those statements that we put out there and the degree to which people agree or don't agree, and then allowing people to sort of add comments has given us a lot of clue, plus of course the existing conditions report that we've been doing in the background have given us a sort of clues as to where we can find consensus with among town residents. So the idea really would be to sort of discuss those. There's a little more for folks to react to. But the general format would probably be the same unless you would like it to be different. But it makes sense to me that we'd have a meeting. Sometimes we talk about having a meeting at different times of the day. I'm open to that. It seems to me, historically at least, the evenings are more successful than other times of the day. We could look into the weekend if you think that might make sense. But the format is essentially, hopefully our presentation will be very short, and then we'd have 2 to 3 kind of sessions for people to discuss and work through things together, and then kind of report out again. I don't know if that answers your question, Josie, but
It does. So one thing that came up in one of our check-ins with Rami and his team was seeking out potentially a different venue, a different part of the town to accommodate for maybe just a different range of people that may be wanting to attend. I was kind of stumped on that, just trying to think of a place that would accommodate so many and to be able to branch out in those smaller groups kind of throughout, like we did at the last meeting. But I'm open for some suggestions on that. And I think, would you agree with that, Rami, that we're still maybe trying to find a different
yeah, I thought the venue was very successful. I think I raised the point just to, should we be asking the question, should we be somewhere else? Will it attract a different group of people or a larger group? Or if we arrive at this answer that the smokestack is a great place, and in fact it's the best of all the possible options we can think of, I'm perfectly happy with that as an answer. I was just sort of raising it as a point of discussion, so we can, you know,
Mm.
consider as a group, you as a group in particular.
Kim, go ahead.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's been discussed before, but if a lot of people have a similar idea for using municipal buildings, I mean, me personally, I haven't been to a lot of the municipal buildings. If that's an option, I don't know, that time of night to kind of have them there, because then people can see, you know, what's around town inside, what the options are, you know.
Mm.
But
I would also like to suggest if, coming out in the evening is a difficulty for a lot of senior citizens. So if you're talking about having a different time, I think you should consider something that's during the afternoon or the morning for one of these sessions, because I think if you want to get a good cross-cut section, there should be something that's in the morning or in the afternoon. And I think you'll get a lot more senior citizens that will come out versus the evening.
Rami, has it been discussed at all, maybe picking a day to focus on this and then having multiple different events at different times to accommodate for say like the senior citizens or working mothers or, you know, different times of the day?
I mean, that's an interesting idea. I would certainly be happy to do that. I don't know that all of our consultants could manage that, but me and my team would certainly be happy to do that. And I was just thinking as you were saying that the evening is tough for senior citizens, mornings or daytime might be better. Of course, for those of us who are not yet senior citizens, that is, you know, during the work day for a lot of people, but the idea of having two meetings actually on the same day is a great idea.
Like maybe have a morning meeting and then a evening meeting?
Yeah, I think that's certainly worth considering. We would definitely
Okay.
be willing to do that. And as it is, I have nothing else on that day yet, so I'll just put off doing the whole day.
Okay. I can do the same and be available throughout that day as well. I'll mark that day off and just for the people sitting at the table, I know that's still quite a ways off, but has anybody gotten a chance to look that far ahead to maybe just roughly say, yeah, either morning or evening is available for me so we can get almost proper coverage for each?
it's Tuesday, is it February 2nd?
Yeah, I think that's a Thursday.
Okay.
Probably
Yeah, I
do
should,
evening, but that's morning would be
I'm
rough.
showing it's a Friday.
I think it's
do you mean-
February 1st.
Do you mean for the first?
February
Yeah.
1st.
February 1st.
Oh, I thought you said the second.
He did, but, okay.
Probably, then,
February
That's
1st.
okay. I would most likely be available for both sessions.
I'm fine at either time.
Okay. The only other thing, consideration would be weather
Yeah.
in February,
course.
Yeah.
obviously.
So we would definitely need to nail down a venue almost immediately, just because of all the events taking place.
So if we do two different sessions, I would actually suggest doing, if we did a morning session, doing it at the senior center,
That's
using
what I
their community room. I don't know, what's the official name of it? Your
The big room.
breakfast room, the big room. The big room. Over there, that there should be.
Let
room
me
to-
check and make sure the
Right there.
availability on that.
Yep. And if that doesn't work, I would suggest possibly the library, which is just because it's the center of town and easy for our seniors to get to.
I'll check on that for you.
I mean, just based on the comments someone else made about one of the municipal buildings, would it be possible to have it at TC Passios? I'm truly ignorant. I'm asking out of ignorance.
At TC Passios, you could have a meeting there. The big space would be the gym. So acoustically, it may not be your best spot. Otherwise, there are a lot of classrooms, but they're either used for something or asbestos-driven and cannot be used as
What
something.
about the cafeteria?
Dave, what do you think at Passios?
I was just, as Karen just mentioned, the cafeteria, the half closest to the hallway is still strictly town use. But there's a divider in that room, and the food pantry does not have, even though they occupy it sometimes a little bit, but that is reserved for town use, especially elections, if they need an overflow. So that might work well, and you've got folding tables there and everything.
Yep.
And acoustically, that works.
That would be better than the gym.
Right.
Yes, I forgot about the cafeteria.
I'll check on the availability at the
And-
Lunenburg Adult Activity Center.
Day of the week and time, depending on the food pantry's schedule.
So I
Because
was just
they're open to walk-ins Tuesdays and Thursdays.
But I don't know what time, yeah.
And we're talking for the evening.
Those are both evenings.
That would be for the evening. Yeah, well, they're often open in the evening.
Right.
Sunday is their daytime.
Okay.
Does the high school have any areas that might be good? As a
The
backup?
school, you could use the school, I could arrange to have you use the school, but if the point is to see the municipal buildings that we're talking about, the high school is not one we're talking about, you know, so you might, you know, if the TC Passios didn't work out, you might see if there would be space at Ritter. I don't know if there would be. I'm not that familiar with that building.
You're talking about evening?
What about, yeah,
In the Ritter building, I don't think
I
there's a
don't think
big
so.
enough
I don't think so.
spot.
Not if it's, I anticipate having more in attendance for the evening
I would think
meeting
the
than
evening
last
would be
time,
big.
so
I would
think
say
that-
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be tough in that building. Rami, I see you want to say something, go ahead.
what about Turkey Hill?
You could do something at Turkey Hill in the evening.
Cafeteria.
I could arrange something there if you wanted, at the cafeteria.
From what we understand, Turkey Hill and TC Passio seem to be the big questions, right? The ones for discussion, so it might be interesting to have something in one of those.
I can check into Turkey Hill.
Okay. And will you check in with?
Yes.
The other, okay.
Yep. I'll let you know tomorrow.
And the food pantry does utilize the cafeteria space, and I wouldn't, to be honest with you, I don't think I'd want to do a public meeting even in the gym on the night of a pantry. I don't think it's fair to the clients that,
And that's at TC Passios?
that's a TC
Yeah.
Passios.
Okay,
So
so we'll
We'll try for Turkey Hill.
mark TC Passios up. And just to be clear, they all have accommodations for seating and
Yes.
tables
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
already.
What time were you thinking for the
Rami's-
morning?
Oh, for the morning? You tell me on that one.
I'll check and see what
Yeah,
time
I
slots
think
are
See
that
what's
would-
available.
Yeah.
I think that would just be a research opportunity from the demographic that we're trying to cater
Okay.
to, probably.
I'll find out what's available.
Yeah,
And I would assume 7 PM for the meeting at Turkey Hill? That was the time we
was
did
it
it.
the last time?
Smokestack,
I
yeah.
think that worked pretty well.
Okay,
Yeah, I thought we started at 6:30, but I could be wrong.
oh, we could,
I think it
either way.
was 6:30.
Either one is fine from our point of view, it's what's most convenient for you.
That took about 2 hours, right? The last
Yeah.
meeting that we had.
Yeah, it was 6:30, it's on my calendar, 6:30.
Is it better for Rami's team to have something in the afternoon and evening instead of morning and evening, instead of spreading it out into the whole day?
Honestly, yes, but we're
Yeah, I
happy,
mean,
we're happy to do
Shouldn't make a difference.
either.
So I can check and see if we've got something available in the afternoon. So that means they're not hanging around the whole day.
Right.
I'll check afternoon about it.
It would be one of those
Available.
things where if we can't, then it would just, I'm sure Rami and his team could accommodate it, but yeah, for travel purposes, it
I'm
would be
thinking
better.
the afternoon.
Mhm.
All right, I'll check afternoon. Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna say probably, I think what we did last time was 6:30 to 8:30
Yep.
for the PM. Lou, do you have something to say on that note?
Yeah, I just wanted to, we're talking about February 2nd, right?
First.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, because February 2nd is Friday. Okay. Yes.
That was my mistake, I apologize for the.
Oh, okay. That's all.
Okay. So we're gonna say February 1st, 6:30 to 8:30, potentially at the Turkey Hill cafeteria, and to be determined for timing.
I'll try for the afternoon.
Okay, and then what room was that you said?
It's just the
big
big
room?
meeting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has a
I
name.
don't know if it has a name. The pancake breakfast room? I don't know.
That could get confusing. We're gonna
We
have-
can rename it the Lincoln Community Center. I don't know. They're there a lot.
Okay. Rami, is there any other, are there any other notes for those events that you would like to add to this?
No, I mean, I just, if anyone had any thoughts about how to target the renting community, we really appreciate any email suggestions.
Well, I think at a
for this.
at a basic level on that, we do have some, probably current, but definitely former, board members from other committees that reside in some of our rental communities. And we could start off, I mean, I can send messages to the people that I know, asking them to spread it through their communities to see if we can get some responses that way.
I also want to say that Evan had a contact at the apartment buildings where the amusement park used to be.
Yeah,
Was it him
that's the
that
same
said
one.
that?
Yeah, I have a
okay.
contact there too. If it wasn't him, it was me.
I can also just put out a general question on one of the Facebook town pages, just to see, just to be kind of honest with everybody and say that we need that demographics help completing the survey.
Rami, how about age demographics? Is that, are you getting a widespread age demographic, or is it?
It's spread, I can give you what we've got so far if you'd like. So, you know, under 18 is, we haven't targeted. Then the 25 to 34 is about 6%. 35 to 44 is about 40%. 45 to 54 is about 29%. And then 55 to 64 is about 13%. And then 65 to 74 is about 8%. So,
Wait, what was that last one?
8%.
8.
Oh,
so seniors are represented.
Not well,
Did we do paper copies of the survey?
Yes, there were some at the smokestack roasters.
Were there, do you know if we got any of the copy, do you know if we sent any paper copies over to the senior center? Okay.
I think that's,
I'll see if I can get some paper copies
that's
over
what we
to
need to do.
guys.
They're not going to be tech savvy about this. Although I brought it up at the Council on Aging meeting on Tuesday, and everybody had taken the survey. But that's,
That's the people.
Yeah.
those are the people that are on the committee, that's not, and they have to be online,
Right.
so that's not representative.
If we have a paper copy ready to go, we can send you that PDF if you want to print it, or we can send you paper
believe-
copies.
I believe I sent everybody the flyer
There's
for
probably
the.
one in my mailbox, I haven't looked.
Yeah, so I sent that after, it must have been around Thanksgiving. So if
Okay.
you look back, there should be a.
Then we're gonna have a test with these surveys that we bring to the senior center, that when they fill it out on paper, we're gonna bring it to the high school and see if the high school kids can read the beautiful penmanship. It's our last
Cursive
generation of
writing.
cursive writing. Rami, I'll get some surveys over there and I will arrange to get them collected as well. Do you want me to actually take those and input them online for you, or do you want me to just give you copies of the paper?
Whatever's easiest for you.
It doesn't matter to me, you tell me what you want.
You
I mean, we can certainly do it ourselves, but we'll also.
Okay, fair enough. And when do you want them back by? So I'll just put a date right on the papers.
You know, we're trying to close it up by this meeting, like we would like to sort of have it in, let's say, a week before the meeting, so we can sort of collate it, test it, and kind of
Mid-January.
Okay,
distill it. So let's say, what is that, the last week of January, if we can get it by the 26th,
Okay.
25th.
I'll push it.
And if you'd like, we can come and collect them from you as well.
Did anybody not get that email I sent out with the flyers for the surveys? It was around Thanksgiving time, so I'm wondering if it was buried with all the Black Friday sales.
I got
I can resend
an
it.
e-flyer, but I don't see the actual survey.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the actual survey either.
Got a survey flyer on the 27th.
Yeah, a zip file you sent.
Yeah, when I open those, it's 2 documents, and they're both,
Right.
they're the same thing,
And
just
then you
different
can click,
formats.
yeah, so this one, when you guys find it,
I have it.
I mean, I can open it this way, but I guess I want to print it. So just print it off of this.
oh, you want to print the
I
actual?
want to print the actual
There is a
survey.
huge stack downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I,
Snag those.
Same
because-
And I'm going to go get them
Mine's
right
the
now,
same
don't laugh,
thing,
because I
too.
will forget.
Yeah, there's a huge stack, and I keep replenishing them, but nobody's using them, so, huh?
Is it on the town clerk's side?
It is, on that wall, yeah.
that's the same thing I have. They're both the same thing. They're the same
So
image.
the JPEG or PNG or whatever
The
format,
PDF.
the PDF has a clickable link, so if you were
It
to...
didn't,
It didn't work?
well, my Outlook is a mess.
Okay. I'll resend it. I'll format those and resend it out.
Okay,
I'll make
that'd be
a note to do
great,
that.
because my Outlook is wonky.
We had discussed setting up, I'm going to wait probably until Karen gets back for the next item. But anyways, we had discussed setting out tables around Thanksgiving time. But everybody's emails were getting bombarded by all the Black Friday sales, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So I was like, well, we'll just drop that. Did you find them?
How many copies do you think you want? I stole
You know
some.
what, I can,
Here you
Go
go, I
get
did my
some
job,
more.
I did what I said I would do.
thank you. I'll get a bunch of these
Checked off.
set out.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome. Hard copies always work better.
Yeah. Is there a place for people to submit those also downstairs, like where you pick them up?
You take them to the Ritter Building to Annie Aubrey, who's the planning board administrative assistant.
Can you
and
just
she
ask,
turns them in.
Can you just ask over at the Sue if she'll just collect them over there?
Yes.
Maybe whoever
Yes.
over there.
Yeah, we'll just have them collected at
Yeah.
the front desk.
Yep, perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so as far as the February 1st event goes, seems like we're making good headway on that. We just need to nail down those venues, and then from there, we can create a flyer and distribute the information. It would be great to know within the next week.
I will find out tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will call tomorrow.
Cool. Is there any other comment on that particular
Do we know if Smokestack was successful profitability-wise?
They were.
Because
I did.
Without having
good.
food at the other event, it's going to significantly lower our attendance, I think.
Yeah.
I wonder that.
You know, then some people come out for a cup of coffee and a pastry just to sit and, you know, if we don't have it at the new event, they're going to be like, why even show?
That was my thought in originally having it there.
Right.
But I'm also a little biased because I basically live there, so I was trying. But I think that, Rami, do you think that these meetings will be kind of a consistent, maybe throughout the entire process, or is there a point where you will stop them? Because I know that we're in the data collecting phase from residents. Is it only for that phase, or will you continue these gatherings?
So there will be more. I'm trying to find the schedule to see what we committed to, but I'm sure there will be at least 2 more because we have to come back and kind of show folks what we've done or what are the, you know, here are the goals you've said you know you could these are the vision and goals for the project. Here are 3 different ways you could play out those goals. And then there has to be a discussion about each of those scenarios. And then from that, we then have to develop, you know, the scenario for which there's some consensus. So there's at least 2 other touch points. And I would say probably one in late spring, probably the next one will probably be in the fall because summer is less productive.
So maybe we use these particular meetings to see if we can cater to a completely different demographic. If attendance is way low, maybe we
Pivot back to.
pivot back. Yeah.
I mean, just for the record, I loved having it at Smokestack.
I think we all do.
Perfectly happy to all of them there. I just raising the question, you know, are we losing certain people if we continue to have them there? That's all.
Well, after these particular meetings, that question may be answered. And it makes me feel better that there will be more meetings, because it gives us a chance to go back to what was working, if it didn't work. So, was there anything else on that? All right. So we're going to move on to additional opportunities for outreach. I had mentioned briefly that we had talked about setting up tables in front of storefronts that were willing to let us do so. To have QR codes for surveys ready for people to again reach a different demographic in front of, you know, wherever, Walmart or I don't even know. But that was around Thanksgiving time and everybody was extremely busy, and it just really wasn't going anywhere. But I'd like to kind of revisit that. I think it would be good to do, and I'm wondering what kind of suggestions you guys would have as far as where to set up tables, where you see the most traffic, and kind of what time of the day, because I have very little input on that, seeing as I'm a 100% online shopper.
What kind of turnouts do our basketball games get, the boys and the girls?
I have no idea. I can find out.
Because I think storefronts are fine. I think where we run into some challenge there is that
People are in a rush.
well, not just in a rush, but especially if you did like the Walmart side, yes, you'll have lemons for people, but you're gonna have people from Fitchburg and Townsend, and you know, I don't know what I don't know what the percentages are, of course, but whereas if you go to let's say a home basketball game at the high school and had something set out, you know, at least 50% of the people there, spectators there, would be from, and that would be more of a one and done type thing because you're gonna get the same parents coming game after game, but that might be an interesting place to
You get a definite demographic there.
Yes. Yeah.
Who would I talk to about permission to?
I can do that.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't we send a copy of the survey home with students already yet, or no?
Yeah, copy has gone home with all the students.
So it could potentially be double the same people. It'd be going to their
True
parents.
enough.
Yeah, we would go to the
I
game.
mean,
We might get 10%
good point, you might get
or
a few
5%
more.
different,
It's
yeah.
possible, or somebody's uncle or something.
Right.
That wouldn't have got the school email, or people that don't open the school emails. Can't imagine, but I bet there are.
Yeah.
So,
May I ask, a copy of the second survey was sent home
yes,
with?
Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, great, wonderful. Okay.
Yep.
Did you see a boost in
It was
survey?
it was a huge boot. Before Thanksgiving, it was under 100.
That's what I was
And
thinking.
we're now at 205,
Nice.
so.
It worked.
Could have been sending it home.
Would anybody here be interested in manning a table for outreach? I realize scheduling is pretty awful, but if that's something that you're interested in.
I could possibly do it, just for me, it really is gonna be dependent on the day,
Okay.
time.
So
and I don't
maybe-
have my work schedule all that far,
Okay,
yes.
so maybe we'll just kind of pick a day and then find out the schedule for future games. And if you're open and available, just jump in and,
Depending on schedules, I don't mind sitting somewhere for a couple hours.
okay. I will send that out. And then other than the games, does anybody else have any ideas on where we could reach people? I was thinking about just driving around town and making several notes, but, yes,
Post office, it's not here.
true.
That's where I always get stopped for any kind of nomination papers.
Mm, That's a good one.
Best demographic we possibly get in town.
That's a good one. Thank you.
So after Rami, after the February meeting, is there gonna be a survey 3?
Yes.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna recommend that when we have survey 3 ready, hopefully it's before town caucus, because that would be a great place, because
that's
people
what I
that
was
are
gonna
there to participate in town caucus will most likely.
Did you hear what Karen was saying?
Town caucus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the first, it's in March.
Mid-March.
March.
Yeah, we will, we'll try to meet that. The answer is we can certainly have a survey. I'm trying to figure out whether it will be, here are the vision and the values, what do you think of them? Or here are some early scenarios based on those values. So depending on the timing, if it's early March, it may be a little too early for us to develop the scenarios, but,
And we do have
We can-
we have other opportunities coming up. I mean, even our not special town meeting, our annual town meeting, which falls in May. That would be a good time too, especially as people sit in the seat for hours on end. Maybe they want to complete a survey while they're waiting.
This is true.
that's probably.
Give them
more
a
likely-
clicker.
Yeah,
Probably a more likely time for us to
okay,
have
that's fine.
scenarios, but, yeah.
Does anybody else have anything else to add as far as general outreach efforts? Okay. We will go on to committee comment. If there's any other comment involving the master plan process at all, or outreach or events, anything in general.
It'd be nice go.
I'm on the internet a lot, so I
Okay.
usually see things just on Facebook for events. So I didn't hear about the one at you said the YMCA. or where was it at? The Boys
Smokestack?
and Girls Club.
Oh, no, that was it Shrieks and Creeks that you went to, Rami? The Halloween?
Well,
It was the,
Okay. so
It was
wasn't
just a
just
table
like-
We crashed the party, so.
Okay, no problem. I was like, I didn't see that one. I'm
Oh, no.
surprised. But I'm just more about like if you can blast it on any group or people, probably multiple ones, but it's probably the best way to like get people.
Where did you see the notice for the event at Smokestack?
Facebook. Yeah, that's the only way I heard about it. Yeah, it's probably my like only way for information because I don't go to any of the schools or anything, so I don't leave my house too much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the Shrieks and Creeks, he had set up just a table with QR codes and some of the cards that you saw at Smokestack for people to fill out as well. That would be kind of similar to what we would try to do with the game or in front of the post office or elsewhere. So you didn't miss out. All right, any other comments? So we will move on to public comments. Over here at this chair, if you want to turn the mic around and introduce yourself.
Sure. Dan Passios, 56 Whiting Street. This might be old news, but my schedule hasn't allowed me to get to one of your meetings to just make the comment. And like I say, you guys have probably already talked about it, but in the presentation at Smokestack, there was a slide of the municipal buildings when they were built, when they were last renovated. I forget the rest of the information on that sheet. And the narrative that went along with that sheet during that presentation said, basically, gave that information, quick review, and the comment was that the town has kept up pretty well with its municipal buildings. And I just want to go on record as saying that many of us know we have not. I just don't want the narrative to go into the master plan as history and existing conditions saying that we've done a good job keeping up our infrastructure. We have not. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other comment? No comment?
as the public.
Yeah.
So, Kim Duffy, 1479 Mass Ave. What did I want to say? Oh, I'm also a member of the Green Communities Committee, and I wanted to just raise awareness on the different types of activities that we could do as part of that committee in terms of grants for the town. So, we've all heard of the street lights project being completed. So in addition to, electrical and things like that, we're looking into more community outreach in terms of, parting like the agriculture, but, sustainability. So I would be interested in how we could work that into the master plan as well, in terms of like, infrastructure, yeah, but like also community habits for like healthy environment, sustainability. So that's something that I would like to help incorporate.
Thank you. I think if you're willing, I don't want to put you on the spot and I'm not expecting an answer, but we would like to invite you to join the committee and vocalize more of those opinions. I think it would be very beneficial. So if you would consider that for the future.
Thank you. I'll get back to you on that. Thank you.
All right. Are there any other public comments? All right, we'll move on to adjournment.
I will make a motion to adjourn at 6:47 PM.
Second.
Okay, and I think we're supposed to do a
Roll
roll
call.
call again.
Oh, because you get people online.
That's it.
I'm gonna do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so it's an aye from me. How about Tim?
Aye.
Lou?
I mean, yeah,
Lou, I want you to notice the time right now because we could be somewhere at 7 o'clock, but that's another story. Deb?
Aye.
Carol?
Aye.
Josie?
Aye.
And an aye from myself.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, Jerry, sorry. I thought I hit you first, sorry.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
So at